Today, me and the homie went over the top 30 wide receivers for fantasy in 2023. The list got a little feisty towards the end, and some bets were made. Tell me what y'all think. Who's taking home the money? Enjoy the show. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, do those things, whatever you want. Holla at your boy.
Sure.
I don't know. Is there a special way you want to do it? You want to put the
I don't
white
care.
last, Put them
This
in
is
the.
what we did.
All right. Cooper Cup. I don't. I'm gonna put him here. I don't know where you want him. I don't think he is the league winner this year. I just don't believe in the Rams. I mean, he'll get his touches because Matthew Stafford loves him, but I just don't believe in him anymore. He's getting to that age where it's not going to be the same. He might lost a step.
Yeah. I know ESPN still has him as number two. I have him as number five. Even last year with the Rams completely falling apart, he was still scoring more points per game on average than Justin Jefferson. Of course, he only played half the season. So I do think he's a legit option. I'm not as high on him as most people, but I do think he belongs in the S tier. I'm staying away from him personally.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want him. I can't. And if I had a choice between like, say, at pick six and or pick four and he's still up, and I have a choice of getting like Chase or a running back, I'm picking Chase or a running back. I just don't. At where you're getting him, I think there's too much of a risk. I mean, like I said, he's at an age where you get hurt once, and the shit just starts falling. Like it starts
I
falling.
agree. Like I said, I'm staying away from him, but if he finished the season as a number one wide receiver, like it wouldn't be
I'm not surprised.
shocking. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I mean, they feed him like nobody else. No other team feeds their wide receiver like they feed uh Cooper Cup. One way you become a triple crown receiver, besides being good. Garrett Wilson. Look, I mean, you can call me a homer all you want. I think he's really good. He had a similar type of rookie season as Justin Jefferson. I think Justin Jefferson might have had a better rookie season. Obviously, he had a top season, but I think Garrett Wilson with a quarterback throwing to him, I think I like him better, especially at the value you get into. I think he easily could have a better year than Cooper Cup. That's my opinion.
I do think he belongs on the H here. I
We
don't
can
have
talk
him
about
ahead of Cooper Cup,
we can talk
but
about where in a second.
if Garrett Wilson was my number one receiver, I wouldn't hate my life
We'll talk about that
for
later.
sure.
Yeah, we'll get everybody up here and see where we like him. But he's definitely a DK Metcalf. I have low. I put him on my don't touch list. So like I never want to pick up DK where he's at in the in the rankings. But I think he'll be end of A tier, top 15 maybe. So
Yeah.
top 15 ish. But I don't even think that. I think that's where he's ranked. But honestly, he can fall out of the top 20. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, ESPN has him at 12. I have him a little bit lower than that, but a guy that I definitely would be happy if he was my number two receiver. I wouldn't be happy if he was my number one.
Yeah, if he's your number one, I think you made a mistake. I mean, I think there's only a few number one receivers out here that you're like, I got the one. But here's someone that I actually think will be ahead of DK. Well, I'll put it at the end of A tier is T Higgins. Obviously, I think Joe Burrow is good enough to get the ball to Chase and Higgins as he's been proving plenty to where they're both top 10 to 15 wide receivers in fantasy.
Yeah, I mean, last year we had two pairs of receivers, both in the top 10 with Philadelphia and with Miami. I see the same thing happening this year with Cincinnati. Right there, top 10, top 12 for T. Higgins this year. He missed 3 games last year, and he still finished 17th. Had that game taken away from him against Buffalo, that whole Buffalo situation.
And he was
Um,
getting it in that
yeah,
game.
but regardless, you give him 3 full games, give him a full season last year. He's right there, 12 to 15. I don't see him dropping at all.
Yeah, and like, yeah, dude, he's just so good. It's crazy that Cincinnati has two one wide receiver ones just on their team. Like he's a wide receiver one on like what 27 other teams. Like it's crazy. It's stupid. Devonta Smith, part of that top 10 that you were talking about last year, but can the Eagles do it again? That's the question. I mean, I don't like him above T. Higgins, but I do like him better than DK. So
Yeah, with what we already have on the board right now, I would say that. I don't think he'll be top 12 again like he was last year.
yeah,
I
some
kind of
people
just
not
think
like this.
Philly had that magical year. I think everyone from Philly is going to take a step back. He's still a guy I would love to have as my wide receiver too. So I definitely think he belongs in the B tier, but not a like for sure lock game winner, pump your fist when you get him kind of guy. But
No,
very solid.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Where you get him in the draft, I think you can get him the same time you can get Garrett Wilson. So at that point, what are you know like why would you take Devonta over Garrett?
Yeah.
Like or whatever. So if you're like if that's the case, there's other receivers too that I think are probably in that same boat, but we'll get there in a second. And then I mean I think that the Eagles are a good team, and I don't think they take that big of a step back, but there's just so much that they have so many people they have to feed. The same thing with DK. That's why he loses value. I know they did really well last year, but people figured Jalen Hurts out a little bit this year. This is more of a surprise. D Hop, man, the ghost of what D Hop was or is. I mean, he's a name. He's going to be healthy coming into the season. Doesn't have a quarterback throwing the ball. So I'm going to put him here.
I mean, we talk about him being a ghost, but if you average out what he did for the entire season, he would have finished as wide receiver 7 last year. So you can call him a ghost, and that's missing games with Kyler Murray. So you can call him a ghost, you can call him whatever you want to. He's still super talented. I know he's hoping to get traded to a contender. I know a contender is hoping to get him. Uh, he's like one of those sneaky guys that I still think, even in Arizona, the worst case scenario with no quarterback, I could still see him top 24, like right, top 20, top 24.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I would have him on B, but that's just me.
He would have to be the end of B. But yeah, I mean,
Yes.
yeah, I mean, he's better than these two receivers, right? If I had to rank D Hop as a talent, he's up here. But then you got to just go the opportunity. Look at the opportunity he's going to have. He's not going to get touchdown equity. He's going to get like seven. He'll get his targets. He'll get receptions. But is he going to get those plays? No, Kyler for the first half of the season. I don't even know their quarterback. I forget already.
Yeah, like we said, like he's definitely below everyone that's listed right now. But I think it's a little premature to say he's a ghost of himself because when he was out there, he was balling, even with Joe Schmuckatelli throwing him the ball.
I call him the ghost. I guess I should call it the ghost of Arizona Cardinals because they are on pace to win 0 games next year. So maybe
I
that's
do
what.
think he's going to get traded, and that's only going to help him. But
Yeah,
I'm not
if
going
he
to.
gets traded, you draft him for to the hope that he gets traded to a team like, um, who could use a receiver? That's
Kansas City.
Kansas City. There you go. If he gets traded to Patrick Mahomes, that's wild. Like we did with Deshaun Watson, right? Debo Samuel. See, uh, that's tough because he gets so much value everywhere else. But with Christian McCaffrey, he loses a lot of value because that touchdown equity he will get, or those run plays he's going to get less of. They're going to Christian McCaffrey and Elijah Mitchell. But I would,
Yeah, missed
I
four
would, I
games
would
last
want him over
year.
DK and Devonta personally. But
I wouldn't. So yeah, missed 4 games last year. He's losing the. Yes, he was the number 3 wide receiver a couple years ago, but a lot of that was because of the rushing stats, right?
mhm.
Um, I, I'm staying away from him. I wouldn't touch him. He's a If he falls into my lap cheap as a wide receiver 2 type situation in our auction league, then okay. But I'm not. I'm not spending any money.
Where is he? Did I miss him?
I think they have him at 16.
There he is, Debo Samuel. Oh, yeah, he loses a lot
The
of touchdown
quarterback
equity.
situation's messy. Like you
Yeah, you
said,
know
Christian
what?
McCaffrey is going to be getting all
You're
those
right.
dumps and
You're
stuff.
right. You're gonna get he's gonna be C tier. Yeah, you're right. I don't like him. If he's your flex, you're happy. But if he's your wide
If I
receiver
got
two,
him super cheap, and like I said,
possibly wide
this is
receiver
my
one.
wide receiver, depending on who my wide receiver 1 is, uh,
Yeah,
bottom 2, top 3, okay, but I'm not excited about him at all.
Yeah, it's different auction draft where you can really set a value to him, like $17 or something like that, like $20 range. Like if he's your wide receiver 3 flex, that's great in 3 receiver league. But yeah, if he's your flex, you're happy. But in a snake, I don't think you can ever get good value. Like yeah, I just don't see it. Yeah, you're right. Keenan Allen, I'm gonna put behind Debo.
Hey, hold on, I'll be right back.
Put him behind Debo.
Yeah,
He's less reliable than anybody. I mean, the Chargers are going to throw the ball. Like I said, Herbert's going to get his 5,000 yards. He's going to get his 30 touchdowns. He's going to do the business. The Chargers like to spread the ball, but Keenan Allen is just if I said ghost of a receiver, he's the ghost of 5 years. Keenan Allen, you know, what I mean, like he's injured every year. Can't really count on him.
yeah, he's been on the downside for years. San Diego's offense is still going to be explosive, but they just spread it around too much. Again, he's a more of a name than value that you're going to get to me.
But yeah, and on a football field, he's great. You want him. You like, he'll still get you tough yards. He still get open. He'll still make separation. But fantasy, yeah, I might even throw him down here. Like I don't, you would not touch Keenan Allen. Like
I mean,
he's
it's
not.
hard to say that like he's still considered the number one receiver in San Diego's offense, and it's going to be so explosive, right? So
He's
it's
definitely not.
scary to just. I'm not saying toss Keenan Allen aside like he's garbage, but
Well, I'm
he's
just
not
gonna put him
someone I'm
ahead for
going to
now.
invest in, not someone I'm going after. But
I'm gonna put
when
him
he's
there for
out
now.
there, he is going to get you points.
He's gonna get you 7 points. That's it. Because he's gonna be hurt or zero. He's gonna get you 7 or 0. He might get a touchdown, but he's not a touchdown guy. It's Austin Eckler's touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, I digress. Keenan Allen, I love him. I used to love him. If you can get him on auction for $15, $12, maybe you're good with it, right? I mean, he's like $6 receiver in my mind. But anyways, and then where you get him in the draft, you can get better options, like this guy right here, Chris Olave, about to go huge this year. I won't put him up with the T Higgins of the world. I think he's about to have a
Um,
huge year. Derek Carr is going to slang that rock, and
so I
he's the
have him
best
at
option.
15. So I wouldn't quite put him on A. That's just me. But I do think he's going to take that next step. It's going to take some time for him and Derek Carr to get their chemistry going. But I think he's obviously the clear number one there. And if he would, I would someone that I'm targeting as a wide receiver too.
Yeah, I mean, what's the next step for him? Like he's super talented. He has a quarterback that can give him the ball. I think last season, who was it? Taysom Hill and Jameson, whatever his damn name is. That guy, Jameis Winston, like just like with Garrett Wilson, they did that with no quarterback play and he had no running game on his team. Like he had nothing, and he was the offense, and he was doing some crazy stuff. So I think Derek Carr can give him the ball outside the numbers like
I
he
mean,
wants.
he was barely over 1,000 yards, 4 touchdowns. So he definitely needs to be more of a red zone target to like get up on that A tier. Which
But
if he
like,
can get into that 8 to 10 touchdown range this year, the New Orleans offense isn't that great. Let's just be honest. They're gonna, they've always tried to win with defense. Well, after the Drew Brees years, but
yeah,
I just don't. He's not gonna go like jump up to like 1,500 yards and 16 touchdowns or anything like that, right? If he gets to 1,200 yards, 8 touchdowns, then I think that's gonna be a big improvement for him, especially as teams are gonna start, targeting him on the other side because
sure.
he's
I mean, like
probably
Michael
their
Thomas. I mean,
best
we're also
offensive weapon
saying
at this
Michael
point.
Thomas coming back. Maybe. I mean, Michael Thomas hasn't been back in a long
Michael
time.
Thomas will be out there, but I just don't see that being a factor.
Well, I mean, what I'm saying is that um, what I'm saying is that he had 1,000 yards with Taysom Hill as a quarterback for at least 2 or 3 games.
Yeah,
And I don't know who the other quarterbacks were. Like Jameis Winston played some. I think Andy Dalton played the other, right? Andy Dalton,
right.
right? Andy fucking Dalton. I'm gonna stop there. Andy Dalton, quarterback. Chris Godwin. Speaking of quarterbacks, let me just talk about Chris Godwin and Baker Mayfield. I'm like talent wise, he's up here, man. Fine ass girl wise, he's a S tier. He has S tier women. He got it, man. He got the game. He got the Riz. But with Baker as his quarterback, he out here, bro. He put Keenan Allen just sitting like, yo, my bad, man. Like I'm really good, but for what I can do. I just don't see him. I don't believe in him at all. I just I just can't draft him over Mike Evans if I want a Tampa Bay wide receiver.
Yeah, Tampa's offense is a shell of itself. The defense is a shell of what it was a couple years ago when they won the Super Bowl. They are going to have to pass a little more because they're going to, be down. And then
But look who's
Godwin,
passing.
yeah. But again, who's going to be their quarterback, right? I still do think just he's just too good to just not think he's going to be low end wide receiver two for someone, but not a sexy thing. Not like he's going to be on every team, or he's going to be on someone's team in every league. Someone's going to put him out there, but it's just nothing that's going to get you excited.
Yeah, he might be the 32nd ranked receiver. Like, and that's going to be on every team, right? I mean, I'm not saying that's not the case. He'll be in the top 30, which for the most part will be on a team. And if 12 teams, you're going to be 24. He might be wide receiver too because people like the name Chris Godwin.
Yeah,
But it's like Baker can't support two fantasy wide receivers, right? He's not Joe Burrow. He's not Jalen Hurts, right? He can't
I
support.
agree with that, and I guess we'll talk about it more when we get to Mike Evans. But I think Mike Evans' value is going to slide more by having Baker Mayfield than Chris Godwin's value will slide.
Let's see. Uh, Speaking of sliding, the Raider great Amari Cooper. I
Former
think
Raider,
he
great.
slides up, in my opinion. Former great. I would take him over D Hop. That's for sure. I
So yeah,
mean, Deshaun's going to sling it, and Mari still gets open. Like he's still good. Like he's just good. He's a good receiver. And last season he had a shell of Deshaun Watson, and I still think he was able to make some plays. I think he's
so
really
yeah, with Deshaun was suspended the first 11 games.
yeah.
So even with only having the last third of the season, he still finished as wide receiver 9. I do think that's going to come down a little bit.
I think he's
I
coming
know he
down. That's what I
down
think.
from number 9 last year. Yeah,
Down to like 8 or 7. I'm my bad. Or yeah,
no, that'd
he's
be
getting better.
no. I
You
don't
think
think
he's
he's going to
getting
be. He was ninth last year. I don't think he'll be near that.
name as a quarterback for the first 11 games. Say it.
Jacoby Brissett.
Say his name.
Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah, okay. Now you have Deshaun Watson with a full year under his belt. You're telling me that he's not going to sling the rock when the other options are Elijah Moore and Donovan Peoples-Jones? Like Amari Cooper's can get his. He's the clear number
Donovan
one.
Peoples Jones is not booty. Elijah Moore is not booty.
But what I'm
But
saying is
they're
they're
not
not.
the caliber of Amari Cooper. I'm not
Yeah,
arguing that.
yeah.
I just don't see him finishing it. I think he's right where he's at. He's not going to be near the 9 where he went last year or will finish the year last year.
I'll be honest with you. I'd rather have Amari Cooper than two in front of him, but I'm going to leave him there for now.
That makes
But
sense.
our first S
Very
tier,
possible.
our first S tier, I think, yeah, Amari Cooper has a lot more equitable like chances than everybody else. Our first S tier, Jamar Chase, obviously. First S tier. Not much you have to say about the top receiver on a top 5 offense with Joe Burrow, and it's just easy day, easy selection.
Yeah, I have him at number 2 coming into this year.
Yeah. And a lot of people
Just
have him between 1 and 2. Like there's people who think he's better. Still, I know you can shut the fuck up about it, but some people have him better than JJ. You know, it's not me. I didn't say it. They did. I'm just saying it's a possibility. I wouldn't be surprised if he's wide receiver 1.
it would not shock me, but I don't see it.
Yeah.
But I have him at 2, so it's not like I was
Yeah.
off on one spot, right?
Yeah. I know you love JJ. You think JJ's Jay Rice, but Jamar Chase is also pretty good. Let's go to here. I'm gonna put this guy, Christian Watson. If I could, this ESPN has him in the top 30. If I could have him at 55 or 60, I would love to, but
That's
I,
ridiculous.
I want him off. Okay, look, as the Packers fan who watched every game last season, or pretty much every game, right? Not gonna say that he started off really good. We all know he started off bad, and then he got some games. He had 3 games. He had 2 games with two touchdowns or more, and then he had a couple of random touchdown games. But that's what Aaron Rodgers throwing the ball. And I get Jordan Love he's not gonna be terrible. He's probably gonna be a good system type of quarterback. But Christian Watson wasn't that good at getting open. You knew it
Well,
was
even you talk about Aaron Rodgers getting him the ball. Aaron Rodgers was legitimately forcing him the ball. You saw the games, you know what I'm talking about. Uh, Having said that, I do think he's still going to be the number one wide receiver in Green Bay. If he was my wide receiver three, I would not be disappointed.
Yeah, wide receiver three. So that's what I'm saying. This is a top 30 list. Only reason why he's even here is because his picture is in the top 40 of ESPN.
Yeah, but you're talking about 55, 60, like that's
I
ridiculous.
well, I would swap him with Romeo Dobbs. I watched Romeo Dobbs and I watched Christian Watson. And Watson is the burner. He'll get over the top, but Romeo Dobbs will get open. Obviously, they
Yeah.
both got hurt last season. Obviously, that's an issue. That's another issue is that Christian Watson likes to pull his hammies because he's running so damn fast. So I don't know. I don't like him. I would probably put him last on this whole list, but we'll see how it goes from here. Um, but yeah, this guy, I think Romeo Dobbs is a better receiver. And then who knows what Jaron Reed's going to be, right? The rookie they just drafted in second round. We'll find out. I believe this is George Pickens. I believe this.
No, that's Deontay Johnson.
That's Deontay Johnson. Which one is George
Yes.
Pickens? Oh, it's right
The
here.
other Pittsburgh guy.
Yeah, my bad. There's so Deontay Johnson. So this is a problem. I think George Pickens gets more than Deontay Johnson. So I just can't put
I
him.
agree. That's what happens.
So I'm good with Deontay D, and then George Pickens low B, high C.
I would still say C. Like, Pittsburgh wants to run the ball. Pickett still doesn't have a lot of experience in the NFL. Even Pickens doesn't have a lot of experience in it. I do think that they got a nice connection and that he is
Yeah.
going to be the number one receiver for Pittsburgh. But
Mhm.
a lot of it, you're just hoping for upside. I don't think
I,
he's shown anything that's
yeah. I
ready to
think
say
Pickens
this
gets a
guy's going to
thousand
go
yards
crazy.
and 7 tutties. He could do that. I mean, Deontay Johnson's supposed to be predicted for 1,000 yards and five
No
tutties.
touchdowns last year for Deontay. Yeah, there it is. Like, that's pretty embarrassing.
Well, Deontay Johnson's a joke. I mean,
Yeah.
I agree. I'm not denying that one. I'm talking about loving at this value too. George Pickens at ranked 40 next to JSN. Like that's crazy value in my opinion. Like that's just silly that you would ever decide in the ESPN draft or any other draft that you would take JSN over George Pickens. It's just silly to me. I think I had JSN on here, but since he has no picture, I obviously
I
didn't
mean,
put.
800 yards and 4 touchdowns is not like not unrealistic for him. Like,
But I
they
think
want to
he
run
can
the
easily
ball.
go to 1,000.
He can, yeah, absolutely. Like I said,
Find out.
um,
We'll find out. How about that?
yeah.
We'll find out. Pittsburgh wide receivers, not the best, but if you're gonna take one in the third round, if you're gonna take a receiver in the third round, do not take Deontay. Just take him in the fifth or sixth round. Just be smart about it. All right, DJ Moore, the myth, the man, the legend.
Yeah, someone else that hasn't had great quarterbacks throwing him the ball, someone that we have probably wanted to give too much or more credit to than he's deserved. Um, Now he goes to Chicago to be the number one. Give Justin Fields his legit number one receiver and see how he blossoms as a quarterback prospect, right? Having said all that, I still think he's bottom B tier. I'm not going all in on DJ Moore. Having watched a lot of those Chicago games last year since I had Justin Fields, like he has a lot of work to do. And yes, you can blame it on the fact that he didn't have receivers, but he has a lot of work to do as a passer. DJ Moore's not going to get just a ton of opportunities to have a great fantasy year.
Yeah, I mean, you're the one who drafted DJ Moore, what, 2 years in a row? So I mean,
Yeah, well, his rookie year, I think his first 2 years in the league, I had him.
you loved him. You
Um,
loved him. And then, I mean, if he can shine with Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold and look really good in some moments with PJ Walker, I think that's his name. Like he as a talent, but I also think he'll get a lot more opportunity with Justin Fields because teams are going to have to do single highs and bring down a safety to chase Justin Fields or to play that run game that they're going to have in Chicago. Chicago's going to be a run first team as they are. They're going to play a lot of single highs or single coverage, no over the top, and DJ Moore can get his. So like in a
I mean,
world,
you
I
could
can see
say
him in this.
all that, right? But there's no reason to believe that Justin Fields is a better passer than any of those quarterbacks he's ever had in Carolina. Your personal belief is different, but there's nothing to ever prove that, right? So,
Well,
what he
fair
finished at
enough.
22 last year, I don't see him that much better than that this year. Yes, you can get
Yeah.
excited and say, "Oh, with the just number one with Justin Fields, like something can happen and he can get to 15."
I just
But
think he'll get
he's
more
just not going to
opportunities.
explode. He's not going to get the
Yes. He's not
opportunities.
going to be a
It's
top
not going to
10.
happen.
I'm not saying that. That's stupid. What I'm saying is he has more of a chance to get the touchdown opportunities. He'll get more chances on single coverage. He'll just get those chances with Justin Fields there. I don't know if Justin Fields can give him the ball. He's an Ohio State quarterback, right? We don't know if he can play quarterback in the NFL. We're still learning that. But in terms of how the offense will be run and the chances he'll get, those random tosses to Claypool to go get over the top might go to DJ now. I don't know. I know
Did
DJ's not the most
Claypool
over
get
the top.
chances like that last year? I don't think he did.
Not many, but they took them and they went to Claypool, and Claypool didn't catch any of them. That's the problem. That's why you didn't see him on ESPN. They took him a little bit. He just can't catch. All right, Mike Evans. Here's here's the talk. Mike Evans. Baker Mayfield has to throw 1,000 yard receiver with 7 touchdowns, and I think it's going to be him. That's my opinion. I think if you pick one, which you should pick none because you don't know, it's like you're gambling. You're not even getting good odds on it. But because like I would just put them here next to each other. I would be like, whoop, just like this. Mike Evans is better than Chris Godwin, but they both are such. Where actually, I'll do this. I don't know what you think, but
I don't know how you can have Keenan Allen behind Deontay Jordan Johnson.
oh,
That's
sorry.
embarrassing. But
But
regardless,
Deontay look.
earlier I said I feel like Mike Evans' value is going to slip more than Godwin. I mean, that nothing's changed. But I don't want either of these guys. I'm saying
I mean, in reality, anybody in front of them are going to have a worse year. Like that's what I'm saying. Everybody on the front of them is the true
two
wide
guys I
receiver
don't weak
one.
filler emergency situation.
Yeah,
But you don't want these guys in your starting lineup.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's why they're over here. They're going to be that flex. But here's someone that we don't know at all. I don't think I can actually grade him. Is Terry McLaurin because Scary Terry's real, and like I want to put him here, but I don't know if I can. I think I want to put him here. Sam Howell's real deal, right?
No, I think Sam or the Washington Commanders are getting ready for the 2024 NFL draft where they
They
can
got
finally go and get themselves a quarterback.
they got new ownership now. They sold. They're good.
I think the Washington Commanders are getting ready for the 2024 NFL draft where there's like supposed to be what 3, 4 quarterbacks taken in the top 5 or 6 picks, and they're banking their franchise on Sam Howell. They're in trouble.
But nothing to do with Scary Terry though.
So yes, it does. Yeah, he's their quarterback, right? So yeah, he's gonna. They're everyone from Washington is gonna suffer. I think Washington just has a terrible year this year. Terry McLaurin's always somehow in that 12 to 16 range as a wide receiver. But now they got some extra weapons there. Uh,
Extra
Johan
weapons.
Dotson had some big games last year. De'Ami Brown had some big games last year. Uh, I just think it gets spread around, and there's just not enough offense down there.
Yeah. Trying to think.
He's still
I, I,
low
w-
end
I
wide.
would put him on the level of DK, and I would put him on this level right here with
I
DK.
mean, I would have him on the back of that. I'd rather have him than DJ Moore still.
Yeah.
Uh, I would rather have Hopkins, Cooper, DK over him for sure.
I'm just trying to think.
It sounds like I'm talking like
He's bad. No, no,
he
no. Yeah.
just doesn't have a very high ceiling, and that scares me.
Yeah. But I think he has a very high floor, which is great. Here's my go get him wide receiver, especially at the value, dude. Calvin Ridley, bro, at rank like 37 or some shit like that. Not like he missed a year on injury. He's gonna be super healthy, mentally ready to play. Obviously, Desmond Ritter can be not Desmond Ritter. I mean, Trevor Lawrence is ready to take that next step. Like I want to put him here like above Chris Olave. Like I trust Calvin Ridley. I don't know why. Maybe I'm just being stupid, but I think he's a top 10 wide receiver for sure this year. I think he's back. That offense is going to be on fire.
I do think that he's going to take over as the wide receiver one in Jacksonville. I think 10 is a little high. They still just have so many weapons there.
That's what I'm
With,
saying. But
with Christian Kirk finished as the number 11 receiver last year, right? I
mhm.
mean, I want to say out of nowhere, but they paid him like they expected him to do that. So
He
what
did
did he get? His
exactly what
4
he's
years.
supposed to do. Yeah.
He got 4 years, 72 million, I think.
Hmm.
So they expected that out of Christian Kirk. But I do think that Calvin Ridley comes in and takes over as the wide receiver one. I don't think it happens instantly, just from getting back in the swing of things and developing that relationship with Trevor Lawrence. I have him at wide receiver 18, so I would put him in the middle of that B group that we have right now, but that's me.
Okay, this is what I'm going to do because I think you're right. I think the first 5 weeks it'll still be the Christian Kirk and ETN show, but that's just until Calvin Ridley's ready to take over. In reality,
They still got Ingram. That I mean, Jacksonville's going to spread the ball around.
Ingram,
They have too many weapons, but he's super talented. He's going to get
yeah,
his opportunities.
yeah.
And then Trevor
I'll put him
Lawrence, I
here.
think
I'll put
once
him
he
here.
realizes what he is, be like, oh shit,
Yeah,
this is my
I
guy.
won't. I want to put him here because I think the last 5 weeks of the season will push him up to a top 12. How about that? We'll find out. Jerry Judy. I have no idea where to put him. I'll let you decide this one.
I would put him in the C. He had a couple big games last year. Had a couple games where he completely disappeared. I know Sean Payton saying that they got too many guys there. They don't know who's kind of going to develop. Uh, I do think he is going to be the best Denver receiver. And whatever you say, not you, but I'm just saying Payton, Sean Payton's considered offensive genius. Like they're going to figure something out where at least on the fantasy side of the thing, where he gets some yards, gets some numbers. Um, he's a guy I wouldn't mind having, like getting really cheap and just seeing what happens, seeing which one of those Denver guys blow up. But he's not someone that I want to like have forced into my starting lineup every week.
True. I think he's a matchup type receiver. I think that's what he's gonna be. He's like the Denver Broncos play the Houston Texans. Yeah, I'm gonna start Jerry Judy. That shit might go crazy, Who the fuck knows? Well, not even Houston, not even Houston. Houston has a young defense, but not the point. I think you play him as matchup goes. Big Mike, let's go. He's good for at least 3 30-point games.
Roll the dice for when you get him right.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, he's a flex pick, man. I like or wide receiver three if you had three receivers, or he's a matchup guy once again, the same way with Jerry Judy. But I think he has way more upside than Jerry Judy because he can go get his.
yeah, I mean it could factor in where Mike Williams ends up being the number one in Kansas City, right? I mean, I'm sorry, in San Diego, which
You're still
should be a
wrong.
big
It's
deal.
Los Angeles.
Yeah, or
Los
yeah,
Angeles.
Los Angeles, whatever. They're still San Diego to me. Um, so I do think, yeah, low end C tier. I would actually rather have him than Pickens. I feel like he's gonna have a better fantasy season than him. Uh,
I
but
think the injury.
we can talk about splitting on the tiers later.
Yeah, I just with the injury, that's why I like George Pickens better. He doesn't. George Pickens
Yeah, I
hasn't
mean,
shown injury.
again,
Yeah,
Mike Williams has missed games, at least the last 3 or 4 years.
yeah. Every year he
So
misses
you
two,
know
three
it's gonna
games.
happen, but
I'm gonna
I
skip.
don't
I'm
like
gonna skip. I'm gonna
factoring that
skip
in.
to it. I want to skip to some S tiers because I just want to get the easy ones out of the way. JJ, here you go, bud. We'll take your
Okay,
spot.
so this chart is actually wrong. There should be a G tier above all of that, and just go ahead and make the God tier for JJ and let him have his own level.
No,
Yes.
no. I refuse to put JJ on his own tier because he was our receiver one last year, but what was the second? I don't know who second was.
Um,
Tyreek Hill, who had 100 touchdowns.
Adams, bro. Adams.
Adams wide receiver two, yeah,
Yeah.
who had 14 touchdowns. Like there's if you ask, there's there was three fantasy gods or four fantasy gods for quarterbacks. You act like Tyreek Hill is not him, or this guy right here was not him last season. Let's just calm down. Jamar Chase was not the same person. This is like I could be. I'm okay with this. But also, this is about this year, not last year. But like, I don't actually like Devontae in the A tier. I mean the S tier. I don't even know if I got excited about Tyreek Hill. Hold on, let me just take these guys down. Um, I think there are two young, great receivers that are S tier receivers. Tyreek Hill, if it's just by name, deserves to be up there, but I don't think he will be up there.
I think if Tua can play the entire season or a legitimate quarterback, if they go and get someone else instead, then I think Tyreek Hill is right there at top three, top four
Here's
wide receiver.
here's my third S tier receiver that I'm going to stop right there and just let's let it sit, let it simmer for a little bit. We'll go on to Tyler Lockett. We'll let that sit up there. I'm in raw S tier. We'll let that sit for a second. Tyler Lockett. I
I hate
mean,
Tyler Lockett,
yeah, but
but
can Gino do back to back 2,000 receivers with JSN coming in to take targets and then still being a run first team?
I think Tyler Lockett numbers are affected more than DK Metcalf for this year.
I mean, maybe, but I mean, I'm still putting Tyler Lockett. I would actually put Tyler Lockett on this level
But just I don't know how. Just every year Tyler Lockett has 11, 1,200 yards, eight,
because
nine touchdowns.
unlike
He
DK,
just keeps doing it.
he go get his too. You know, DK plays super soft. He doesn't place. He just gets his deep post when they do. Like I said, they're a run first team, and when they do those play actions, they're going to Tyler. They're not going to DK, right?
Yeah, Lockett crossing over that 30-year-old barrier. Lockett, DK usually like more consistent, but Lockett will have like bigger games for some reason. He'll just go get you two bombs in one game and have.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we do bonus plays, but he'll just have a 30-point game and then a 4-point game. Like
Yeah, it don't make any
that's
sense.
not what I'm looking for.
Yeah,
And then once that's averaged out over the entire season, he's right there low end, like 25, 26, 27. That's where I think he'll end up.
yeah, which they will put him in the back of the 30 list. So put him there. I put him above. I think I got 40 receivers here, so we're not going to use all of them. So I'm gonna start nitpicking a little bit on players that I think are better than what they should. Like, I would
But hey,
actually take.
if you think Amon Ra is going to be better than Stephon Diggs, you're just kidding yourself. If you think Amon Ra is going to be better than Tyreek, you're just kidding yourself.
Okay, first off, we're not talking. I said wait a second on one raw. He's gonna be there. I want to actually take Christian Watson off the list because he's not gonna be in my top 30. And actually,
Deontay Johnson shouldn't be in the top 30.
yeah, you're right. I don't even know why I put him there. Hold on. So CeeDee Lamb's going up here in the A tier. I'm just gonna do quick fires because they got AJ Brown A tier. Don't even gotta talk about it. Tyreek Hill is going up here. He can be moving. Jalen Waddle, depending on the quarterback, is low A, B tier. Stephon Diggs up here, depending on how liberal we want to be with that S tier. Let's see. How many people we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. We got two more receivers for the top 30.
Um,
I mean, is there anybody else we got to take off top 30? I don't think so. Take out? I don't think so. I think everybody
I
here is top
mean,
30.
I don't see how Tampa has two top 30 wide receivers.
Well, that's why you're right. I'm taking Chris Godwin out. Actually, I might. The problem is I don't know which one of them. I'll put them both and just count them as one. So we need three more.
I do maybe I had him last year, but I do think that Drake London kind of had a good thing going with Desmond Ritter last year. Obviously, they're going to be super super run heavy.
You might get some touchdown equity from
But
it because
him and Pitts are, you know, the only weapons they have. Yeah, they signed Matt Collins from Oakland,
Cordero
but
Patterson, bro.
that don't mean anything. But Patterson is going to be more involved in the run game. He ain't out there running routes. I have Drake London in the top 30. You don't have him out there. I have Pitts in the top 30.
Pitts,
Um,
Pittman.
Pittman, sorry, at the bottom of the top
Yeah,
30.
yeah, yeah. I'm trying to think. If
Let's see, Hollywood Brown.
so, Drake. So it's 29 or 28. Pittman, I'll put it at the end. I actually put him above. Well, he has a work quarterback. The worst quarterback situation of all the out of the ones in the bottom. He has AR-15, which who we have zero knowledge of, and then
Odell Beckham's a big wild card, right? It's a sexy
yeah,
name down there in Baltimore, but
but then
they don't
Traylon
throw.
Burks is the only wide receiver in Tennessee to talk about. Can he go get him a top 30 year? It's possible, and I think they're going to switch to Will Levis by week 7, week 8. And I don't know if Will Levis is going to be the same 70-yard Malik Willis with 7 attempts, but that if that's the case, Traylon Burks is top 70. I, but I think Deontay Johnson might have to go back up there, or Brandon Ayuk maybe, but who knows their quarterback situation?
Wait, how many? You got 29 right there?
29, yeah.
I mean, we keep crapping on Christian Kirk. The dude was 11th last year. I don't think he's fallen out of the top 30.
Oh, yeah. I think there's so much in that offense that
He's
like
going to be hurt by how much they have to spread it around, but he's still a
yeah,
top 30 receiver. Like,
yeah.
let's start tripping.
And here I'll make Christian Watson the last place because he's fucking butt. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. The Tampa Bay boys end the 30. I won't leave them there because I have no idea. Okay, let's go back to Amon Ra real quick. I said Amon Ra could be wide receiver 1 in fantasy, but you don't agree.
Not even close.
That's he is going to be a bit the only receiving option in Detroit for a while until Jameson Williams comes back from weeks, and obviously him and Jared Goff have a connection, like that. He is at 11 targets, 12 targets a game. He will get some in rounds. He will get the touchdown looks. I don't know why you don't love him.
I don't love him at all.
I'm gonna put him in his own tier. The people Dwayne hates the most. Put him Amon Ra hater. I mean, I don't know. Maybe because I watched him play and see what he did against Green Bay, and I've been in love with the Detroit Lions for the last 2 seasons, and I think this year is you take Detroit and the points every game because they will cover.
I mean, 1,100. He had 1161 and six
with
touches last year.
with 3 games missed, 3 or 4 games
With
missed. How many games? I don't remember.
did he?
He missed 3 games, I think. 106 receptions.
One game. Well, one game and then he got hurt.
And then he got hurt. So 2 games. Yeah, then he was coming off that ankle injury pretty slow. But when I remember when I traded for him, he was wide receiver 3, and then he got hurt, and then he just wasn't the same.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
A lot of those crazy early season scoring games. I mean, I get why you love him, right? You had him on your team, he went crazy. I get it, right? But
I didn't have him on my team. I traded for him, and then he went dark for a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You thought he was gonna be God mode, right? I get it, but 1,200 yards and 6 touchdowns. How much are you paying for him
in auction? I'm paying the same price I would pay for Tyreek, the 45, 40. Because that's his value. I mean, that's the thing. Tyreek Hill's value in auction is $40 last season. He might go up a little bit because people right. It's the same thing with Derrick Henry. Can you believe that Tyreek Hill is going to do it again? People are just not going to play over the top safety on him. He's Tyreek Hill, bro. I think he's trying to make a point, and I still think he's going to make that point this year. So I like Tyreek Hill on the S. I don't like Devontae Adams and the Raiders offense. I like Devontae Adams. I don't like the Raiders offense. Jimmy G's not going to give him the ball on the outside. That's why I don't have him on the S tier.
Amon-Ra Raw ahead of Diggs and Adams is disrespectful as fuck.
I am not disrespecting them.
Even the Cooper Kupp, that is just insane, dude.
Listen, we're not talking about last season or the year before that.
I know we're not talking about last season. What are you expecting Detroit to suddenly do?
Detroit has
the team that took a running back at 12 and has a smash mouth quarterback or coach that wants to punish people in the trenches.
Are you high?
I think Jared Goff is just going to go crazy.
Jared Goff,
raw 1,600 yards and 12 touchdowns.
Bro, are you high?
Detroit already
I know
had the
you're a
number
Detroit
one
hater.
offense,
I know you're
and
a
there
Detroit
and he
hater.
had 1,200 yards and 6 touchdowns. Like, what do you think is going to magically make him go up?
Bro, he's healthier this season. He got hurt he was on pace, and then he got hurt, and then he slowed down off an ankle injury. That is totally understandable and fair. What I'm saying
Okay,
is
so
Detroit's
Cooper Cup, who was on pace to be the number one receiver in the league, got hurt, and was on pace to do that. How was he ahead of him?
well,
Like
let's
that,
look,
that's
let's
insane.
let's look at Cooper Cup and how old he is, and let's look at Amon Ra and see how young he is. I'm just saying, and then these Diggs and Adams are in their later end of their careers. They eventually got to slow down. I don't think they're going to be 1,500-yard receivers again. I don't think Devontae can get 1,500 yards again. I want him to. I love
But
Devontae.
he doesn't need to be better than Amon St. Ross. What I'm trying to tell
Yes,
you.
you're saying that, but okay. Look, just because you don't like him does not mean that
It does. It's not that I don't like him,
I have
but
him ranked fourth. You ranked like 6 and 4 are that big of a difference, or like I have him ranked 4. That's it. I have him ranked 4, and that is not a far cry from where he started. The end of the 2 years ago, where he ended the season, and when he started before he got hurt, he was top 2 or 3 receivers in all fantasy, and then he got an ankle injury. And he
yeah,
slowed
okay,
down.
but that's like saying, okay, Chubb was the number one receiver running back through 6 weeks. He's not the number one receiver or running back, right? Just like Amon Ra, yes, he was third through 6 weeks. He's not the third best receiver just because he was third through 6 weeks.
And
Just like
fantasy.
Chubb is the number one running back because he was number one through 6 weeks. Like, I get what you're saying, right?
No,
He was
but you're
third
also
when you
missing
traded
you're
for him,
missing the end of the year
but he's
before.
not the third best receiver
Oh gosh.
in fantasy.
All right, $100 bet right now. Amon Ra ends the season better than Stephon Diggs and Devontae Adams in fantasy right now. $100. It's on video. It's
Okay, so $100 per player.
No, $100 bet that he ends up with both of them. You want to do per player? That's fine. I don't give a fuck.
Well, I mean, I don't. How do you make it fair? Out of the three that he's number one,
I mean, you get better odds. You get so I don't
okay,
understand.
that's what I'm. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm trying to make it fair for you.
No,
That out of those
it's totally
three,
fair. I have the better fantasy player, so I'm okay with it. Amon
okay, so
Ra,
Amon Ra for Stephon Diggs versus Devontae Adams. Amon Ra is the number one out of those three.
yes,
Is that what you're saying?
yes, it's on tape.
Okay,
As
that
of May 20th, 2:41 p.m. Western time, 5:41 Eastern time for your broke ass. $100. Amon Ra will be higher
that's
than
the easiest
both
money I ever made in my life.
Stephon
This pays
Diggs.
for half my league right there. All right,
Sure,
good
bet.
job.
Okay, sure. Whatever. All right, I'm leaving him S tier because I made the bet. So these two, obviously, I think these two are fine where they're at. Top of A tier. Garrett Wilson, I think you can do this if you want to make yourself feel better. Cooper Cup is just a name, but I think Garrett Wilson is by week four on, he'll be a top 3 wide receiver.
I mean, you're just okay.
I mean, he look what he did.
I see why it could happen. Like, don't get me wrong, but you're just putting a lot of eggs in what you think is gonna happen. Like, I get it.
It's called projecting what's going to happen. That's what we're doing. Literally what we're doing. You're projecting
I
Cooper Cup
get that
coming
you
back from
love Aaron
injury.
Rodgers wiener and you're like,
Now,
oh, he's gonna feed Garrett Wilson.
what happened to the last 17 he fell in love with? Let me know. What happened to the last 17? He said he reminds him of a Devontae Adams. What happened? He'll get 150 targets. He'll get
But
more opportunities. Look at I get it, bro. Cooper Cup, sexy name, man. And he was on pace, like you said last year, to be wide receiver 1 before he got hurt. I agree. But is Matthew Stafford going to be strong enough to give him the ball? Who's their backup quarterback?
you
Exactly. Can I get Cooper Cup 150 targets? Probably, but not the point. I should be in the NFL, is what you're saying. I agree. All right. So T. Higgins, Chris Olave, AJ Brown, CeeDee Lamb, and Jalen Waddle rounds out the top 13.
I think CeeDee
From
Lamb needs to be a lot higher, just personally. I don't there's no way that CeeDee Lamb should be behind Chris Olave. And there's no way that AJ Brown should be behind Chris Olave.
AJ Brown had one good year, bro. Relax.
One good year.
One good year. One good year. What did AJ Brown have last season? Pretty good. 1,500 yards, 11 TDs. Dude, great year. What did he have a year before?
He had Ryan Tannehill throwing him the ball.
Well, okay. And Chris Olave had Andy Dalton. Let's go get it. Chris Olave is about to jump. It's not even jumping that high. Where is it? Oh wait, no, it's jumping pretty high. AJ Brown's 8. Never mind. Whatever. Here, I'll put him at 12. How about that? He'll go from 18 to 12. I think Jalen Waddle will go out here at 13. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom. Do you want AJ Brown over T Higgins? Is that what you're saying?
That's what I would say, but that's just me.
I do. I think T Higgins is just as good as AJ Brown, personally.
Well, it's just the problem is that he's the clear number 2 in Cincy versus Brown being the clear number 1 in Philly, even
Yeah.
though they both have stud, like 1 and 2 are both studs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, I'm good with this. I'm good with Chris Olave being at 12, but you're not. But that's okay. Whatever. I moved him from 8 to 12, so But I think he has a big jump. You don't believe in Derek Carr? He was your quarterback for 10 years.
I do not believe Derek Carr will produce a just sexy fantasy season for Chris Olave. Not better than Dak will give Lamb or Jalen Hurts will give AJ Brown or Joe Burrow will give T Higgins. No.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. But I think we're good. I like him there. All right, I'll go to B tier. Jalen Waddle 13, Ridley 14, Devontae 15, Terry 16, DK 17, Cooper 18, and Hop 19. Is Hop a top
I
20
mean,
receiver?
I don't hate it.
Is Hop a top
Seeing this
20?
now makes me really think that Pickens is too high.
Well, we're not done yet. Well, I mean, where's Pickens going?
I mean,
Like
down.
down where for who? Or
I
just
don't know.
put that's what I'm saying. But okay, I'll leave. It sounds like B's good. It sounds like you're happy with B. I'm
Yes.
glad you're a Calvin Ridley believer like I am. Okay, C. So 20 is DJ Moore, 21 is George Pickens, 22 Debo, Mike 23, Jerry 24. Where would you put George?
I mean, at least after Mike, for
You want
me,
him here.
I mean, if we're not changing anything on the C tier, I would rather have,
I
well,
mean, we can
hell,
move him. I'm saying if anyone from the D
I
can't,
would move him to D personally.
so you want him like here over Jerry? Or below Jerry? That's that's a tough one for me. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, they're both run first offenses. I'd rather have, uh,
Poppy,
I don't know,
relax.
just having Pickens at 21, that's insane. And having just Mike Williams clearly over Keenan Allen, I think is insane.
I think Mike Williams has proved that he's over Keenan Allen. But I don't know what you mean.
Based off what?
One sec. Poppy's going nuts. Let's see. Keenan Allen, 752 yards last season. Where's Mike? Big Mike. Let's just compare last season. 895 yards.
752 yards in 8 games.
Yeah, not bad. But guess what? He missed 9 games. How many games did Mike miss? You're talking such ridiculous bullshit that Poppy's losing her mind. Just wanted to let you know.
5. See that one carry for 8 yards. That's what puts Keenan Allen over the top.
Yeah, I don't know. Why is everyone just bothering me when I'm trying to record a video? That's the question. I could put them on the same tier if that'll make you feel better. They're both going to miss games, 4+, but Big Mike gives you the bigger plays, so you go for the big play people, right?
I mean, I'm taking Keenan over Big Mike every year, every time, or next year. I'm paying more money for Keenan Allen than I would for Mike Williams next year.
Keenan
That's
Allen,
just me.
I think you're in love with his name.
I'm
Keenan
not
Allen
in
is
love with his
amazing.
name. I'm not saying I'm spending $20 on him. I'm saying I'm spending more money on Keenan Allen than I would for Mike Williams. I'm spending more money on Drake London than I would on George Pickens.
Cool. Who ends up with more fantasy points? Mike Williams or Keenan Allen? Let me know.
Keenan Allen. We can make another bet right now if you want to.
Okay, this is what we'll do. Let's make another bet. Mike Williams adds more fantasy points than Keenan Allen. Bet.
In our scoring system.
In your scoring system, sure.
All right.
Whatever you want. That'll make you feel better. That's even better for me because Big Mike gets more bonus. Anyways, so this is what I'll do. I'll put him at the end and I'll put him in the front. They're both the same tier, same level, one off, but the same thing.
Gotcha, go ahead.
You're just a George Pickens hater for some reason. You say
I like George Pickens.
Yeah, but you think he's gonna get? You think the Falcons are way more run dependent than the Pittsburgh Steelers are? And I would
No, they're not.
And I would say that Kenny Pickett.
I mean, they are because Atlanta's number one, but both teams want to run the ball.
Yeah, both teams are run heavy, but you have to like Drake London. They like this is the funny part, right? Both teams are run first. Both teams have a good tight end who will get more looks in the red zone, and then both teams have an okay quarterback. I mean, but who's better quarterback? Who will get the ball out better? Who has the better connection? Desmond Ritter and Drake London versus Kenny Pickett and George. I mean, we're splitting hairs at this point with two spots, but I think George Pickett.
Well, there's a reason Drake London was selected 10th and George Pickens was selected whatever 40th, right?
There's a reason why Mr. Trubisky
both crappy quarterbacks, both run it first offenses, right?
Wait,
you can call Pat Fireman a good tight end if you want to.
He is a good tight end. I don't have to explain that. Watch football. Okay. You see, he's a good tight end.
Okay. But yeah,
Kyle Pitts had what 5
splitting here. I'm not saying. Did I say Kyle Pitts was good?
No,
I didn't. But you want to jump out there and say Pat Fairmouth is good. But anyway, yes, we're splitting hairs. Go ahead.
We're split. Third bet. Yeah, I'll take $50 that George Pickens has a better year fantasy than Drake London. Third bet right here.
Say that again.
George Pickens over Drake London.
Okay, I'll take it. How much was the Chargers
50-50. Both of them 50. 100 for the big ones. I'm not risking $100 for
There's my whole league just paid for because you're an idiot. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. And then Michael Pittman, AR-15 or Gardner Minshew. That's what I mean. I don't even know if he'll be a top 30 to be honest. If he's not in top 30,
didn't Gardner Minshew get cut?
Huh?
I think Gardner Minshew got cut.
Oh, he got cut?
Yeah.
Oh, then
I think so.
That's even worse for Michael Pittman because now he has Anthony Richardson throwing him the ball. So good luck. Christian Kirk, I'm good with that. And then the Tampa Bay boys, you can.
Never mind. He's still there. Yeah.
You can pick out these two who you want to leave on the top 30 list and then take off. Like I'll leave that. I'll leave that to anybody who's picking Tampa Bay receivers like dumbasses. If you want to pick Tampa Bay receiver, you're bad at fantasy football and you deserve to lose your money. But yeah, this is the list. I'm good with that. I'm good with this. You're obviously we had the bets for Amon Ra because if anything, only thing that changes is the only thing that changes is this. The
only thing that changes is this. We both just say Cooper Kupp could be the number one receiver. Never mind. I'm done arguing the same thing with you.
No, we said the same.
All right. Yeah. List looks good.
Well, first off, just because Cooper Kupp has potential doesn't mean he got in there. It's about projecting the year.
He doesn't have potential. He was the number one receiver 2 years ago. He was on pace to be the number one receiver last year. That's not potential. That's you've done it.
And he's going to fall off.
Okay.
He's falling off. We have the bet. Don't worry. It's there. Look, in all that case, he should be here. Cooper Kupp should be there. Are you good with Cooper Kupp there?
Wouldn't shock me.
Are you good with Cooper Kupp there?
No.
Okay, then. Well, he was.
But I'm definitely not. All right, we're done arguing. Thank you guys for watching.
Oh yeah. Look at you go. Oh, now you're a host. Look at you go. It's okay. I can't wait, dude, for the draft. Oh man, it's gonna be so good. It's gonna be interesting because obviously wide receivers are a lot deeper than running backs this year, so it'd be fun. Good thing we get 3 of those guys. And then there's going to be some random rookie to be in the top 30, and there's players that aren't even here that might sneak up and get over Michael Pittman or Drake London. So
yeah, of course. Like I said, Odell Beckham could. Who knows what's going to happen? Jordan Atkinson could come into Minnesota and take carries away and take a bunch of receptions away from Tyler Hawkinson and JJ.
Yeah.
Quentin Johnson could go into the Chargers and be there and take over as their number one, right?
Well,
There's
yeah,
lots of things that can happen.
when
Zay
Big Mike
Flowers could be the guy at Baltimore instead of Odell. Who knows?
Zay Flowers looks nasty though, but that's just
I haven't
deep
seen
stuff.
anything about him. I mean, in the pros at least.
Yeah, but all right. This is the list. I'm ending it here. Good job. We did it.